even further beyond!
Yeah, my name is Zakashi, and in this video I'm bringing you guys the best Ledge Limited Cell concept that you will probably ever see. This is a concept for if Cell gets a legendary finish type unit, as we have in the game for lots of characters. And honestly, I just need to shout out my boy MX first, because this video actually took quite a bit of time, about an hour, because we actually sat down and actually spoke about what this unit would have, and literally it's going to be a good unit if they was to do something like this, which is why I'm making this concept. Actually, whether this Cell is the next Legend Limited character that we're getting or not, it doesn't matter. We will eventually get a Legend Limited Cell, so just to have this concept out in the air, I feel like it's pretty solid. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video, hopefully you guys will appreciate this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We are on this grind to 25,000 subscribers, yes sir. All my social media links on the left. It's the YouTube channel, but we got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link, all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those. Just got some gameplay in the background for you guys to enjoy while I go through the Legend Limited Cell concept, and there will be some screenshots on the screen, so you're not just looking at some trash gameplay and listening to me. Everything will be timestamped too, because I do care about your viewing time. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the video now. Alright, so you guys know, this concept is actually going to be based on Cell being at 14 stars, level 5000. He's going to be a melee type. He has the tags Androids, Absorption, Regeneration, Future, and Powerful Opponent, and the element that we've chosen to be is actually purple, because I feel like Androids really need a purple. They don't have any purples that are like recent. Like, look at the options. You've got the purple EX, Android 18 I believe, that small Android with the hat, I don't even know his number, and Android 21, which is, they're all old units. So for Cell to be purple, I feel like it makes more sense. Powerful Opponent already have a purple, but he can also fit in there, and even Regeneration. DKP is an optional purple. They also gave the free to play boo, but I feel like this Cell being a Legend Limited, it'll bring more value to that color for two teams, not even just one, so Androids and Regen. In this segment here, things that don't change throughout the whole game are the arts cards held. So this Cell, even though he's a melee type, will carry a strike art and a blast art. However, the strike arts would actually have a card seal, so it says strike cards with 100% chance to seal one enemy card slot at random on hit. The sealed card slot cannot be used for 5 timer counts. And then the blast arts will actually have a damage up, so blast cards with plus 10% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts effects when used. So just something light, not too heavy. And then the Z ability here, so they decided for the Z ability 1, it would be plus 22% to tag Android, base, strike, attack, and defense. He's an LF, so he's got to have the double. Z ability 2, this is at 3 stars, 28%, plus 28% to tag Android or episode Cell Saga Z. Gonna help that saga there, base, strike, attack, and defense during battle. And then at 6 stars, plus 30% to tag Android, episode Cell Saga, or Powerful Opponent. Those are his free and final tags that he's going to be buffing, but one's an episode obviously. Base, strike, attack, and defense. And then it's the same things at the end, but the percentage just went up to plus 35%. So now we can actually go into his actual kit, the before transformation. So yes, he is a transforming unit, and you'll see why I'm going to say that. But these are just his stats. So 2.1 mil health, 232k strike, 228 blast, and then for the defenses, 150k for each strike and blast defense. Nothing too bizarre. This is before the transformation, just bear that in mind. For the kit, there might be some references here and there. If I can find any, I would slot them in accordingly. But for the main ability, randomly destroys one of your own cards, draw Awakened Arts card next, restores own key by 20, plus 30% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, increases the damage of the Awakened Arts used based on the character's own health. So that kind of like should tell you that his Awakened Arts is basically a self-destruct. 50% or below, plus 25% to self-destruct damage. So you actually get rewarded for the for having your Cell at lower health, because it kind of be like a final type of move. It's not a thing where you should just be doing it at the start of a game and then just blowing up your enemy and now their health is like on life support. You only need 10 time accounts for you to actually activate that main ability as well, so you can actually use the arts card, and you need to land it to actually self-destruct and then go into your transformation. The first unique ability applies the following effects to self when battle starts: plus 50% to key recovery, cannot be cancelled, and reduces damage received by 25%, cannot be cancelled. And then unique ability 2, 20% to damage inflicted against tag hybrid Saiyan, cannot be cancelled, plus 30% to damage inflicted from battle start until transformation, cannot be cancelled. Nothing too crazy, but I feel like these tags are appropriate considering it's Cell, and you just good guys know what the meta is like, so we need something like that. Now going into the arts cards that Cell actually holds before his transformation, the Strike cards actually has a battle bonus versus Hybrid Saiyan. This is inspired by Corrupt Zamasu because he actually has a battle bonus versus Saiyans, but the Strike cards doesn't have blast armor, so it's just regular, but it applies the attribute upgrade plus 10% to damage inflicted against tag hybrid Saiyan to Cell for 10 time accounts upon activation. It cannot be cancelled. So this is going to really give that edge over hybrid Saiyan, because you just know how they are in the meta, but like I said earlier, it's very appropriate considering it's Cell. Even though Cell is a melee type, I wanted to give him something that would actually help him on the ranged end. So in case he's facing up someone with blast armor, we can take pretty much every Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. They all have blast armor with his alternate arts or the blue card. This Cell will actually give out plus 150% to blast damage inflicted against enemies' armor. So this is actually inspired from Kale and Caulifla, the yellow ones, but Gogeta Blue also has something like this, but his is 100%. But I feel like 100%, 150% is appropriate because blast armor can actually give that extra edge, but we need to cut that off. The special move, nothing too crazy, it's long range, deals major impact damage, seals enemy strike arts on hit, and the sealed arts cannot be used for 5 time accounts. Special skill, it's also long range like the yellow Cell. It inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, plus 20 to strike arts cost for 10 time accounts, so just a big inconvenience. Nothing too crazy in terms of damage, but it will just stop them using strike arts for cheap. Now finally going into the awaken arts linking into the main ability, it's close range, so it's the type that you kind of have to grab them like Android 16. It deals massive self-destruct damage. This self-destruct damage depends on the character's own health, so it's going to scale. And then there's also plus 25% to self-destruct damage when allied character Android 18 is a battle member. The following effects occur on self-destruct hit, so he's going to revive with 60% health when own health reaches 0. So obviously on the self-destruct he would actually kill himself, so it's not a revival that would activate just by beating him. He'd have to actually land the awaken arts. And it also says a portion of the damage inflicted will also be dealt to the enemy members on standby on hit. This cannot cause them to be defeated, so there's some AoE damage to actually give you that little more edge, because you know when Cell actually blew up, he blew up the whole planet that Goku teleported him to, so that AoE damage I feel like is very much necessary. Now we're here at the transformation after his self-destruct revival, so you can see his health has gone up to 2.9 mil, strike attack 295k, blast attack 270k, strike defense 173k, blast defense 169k. Pretty solid stats in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that. I feel like these stats were actually necessary, especially with the fact that you will see later he doesn't actually gain any health in any way, shape or form. The main ability, it gives him +1 to amount unique ability 2, and you'll see what I mean by that. He has a cover change, can be used. Draw a special move arts card next, restores own key by 50 and 60% to damage inflicted for 20 time accounts, which cannot be cancelled. And just to top it off at the end, gain buff effect, nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover for 20 time accounts, which cannot be cancelled. And you only need 10 time accounts to elapse for you guys to use this main ability. The first unique ability after transforming applies the following effects to self after transforming. You know you need to give them characters some buffs. 70% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 30%, cannot be cancelled. And nullifies abnormal conditions, cannot be cancelled. This is really the peak form for Cell. The following effects occur when character's own vanishing gauge is at 100% also. So with this, I kind of went creative with it. Instead of having it so that every time he comes into the battlefield he gets something, is when his gauge is at 100%, which actually promotes you keeping him in the battlefield for longer. but he gets 40 ki, so that's every time his vanish scores will hit 100%. His draw speed goes up by 1 level for 10 timer counts, and he also gets 10% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. So when he comes in the first time, you have 100% Gorge. He would obviously get all of those buffs, and then if he vanishes and then restores it again, he would obviously get all those buffs again, which is pretty solid. Unique ability 2 applies the following effects to self every time when faced with an enemy depending on their tag. So tag Hybrid Saiyan plus 30% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, tag Saiyan plus 20% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and then tag Super Warrior plus 10% strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. This pretty much sums up everybody that was there at the Cell games, obviously besides the androids, but he wouldn't want to work against himself type thing. Alongside that, while this character is on the battlefield, the following effects occur when an arts card is drawn. So kind of like Super Vegeta would get a certain buff every time he gets an arts card. Plus 5% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, cannot be cancelled, and plus 25% to ki recovery activates twice. Effects reset on switch. And then he will also receive 0 damage when changing cover for the first time. So when I was reading his main ability, I told you guys that he had a cover change. So he has the instant transmission the same way the yellow cell does, but if you pop his main ability, he will get an extra one. And I feel like it should stack if you haven't used the first one, so you'd have 2, which is pretty solid. Now to finalize the kit, we've only got the arts cards next, but the strike cast is the same as before the transformation. The blast art is also the same as before the transformation, but we need to go into the special move and the green cards, which have changed. So the special move is a close range type, but not a close range where you have to grab them or come up in their face. It'd be the type like kind of like the Zenkai 7 Buu, where it would take up the close range area and the middle range area, but it wouldn't reach at long range. Kind of like explosive green cards as well. Deals supreme impact damage, took that from VB. He inflicts all enemies with no switching for 3 timer counts upon activation, and he nullifies enemies restore own health when it reaches 0 effects, so that's endurance for 3 timer counts. Went with this one because I feel like there's no real LF who has a blue card like this. Well, with this one, it kind of be like Cell powering up a surge, and it kind of like head into 2 types of animations. So it could be Cell like kind of hitting you away like he did with the, if we're talking about the revival Cell, so the red one, or and then he could let it lead into a solar Kamehameha like the yellow one has, and it would be like a pretty neat animation to lead into that and actually get a legendary finish. I feel like that's a pretty solid blue, and it's something new that we haven't seen. It doesn't do anything crazy in terms of like getting special move damage or like extra damage because it's his legendary finish, but it does lock them in, and the supreme damage as well, and on top of all the other damage inflicted that he got in his kit, I feel suffice to actually make it very valid. Just to end off the video, we've got the special skill. It's just going to be one of those ones that power themselves up, so it's not going to do anything like a AoE green card, explosive green card, or like a grab type. It will just be a quick power up, plus 20% to special move damage inflicted up to 100%, and it cannot be cancelled. So you need to pop 5 green cards to actually get 100% special move damage, which cannot be cancelled. He also gets 30 ki, and he will draw a random card, so you're going to be hoping for blue cards, which will link with the legendary finish, of course. But yeah, that's actually the end of the kit. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you made it up to this point, it really means a lot. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. More content like this, like I've really put effort into this type of content, so hey, if you're watching this video and you haven't pressed that red button, just do me that favor. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this concept, anything that you changed, if you want it just like this, or you think it should be completely different, or even like small things like the elements and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already. Just gotta do it again for the regular intro. All my social media links on the left. Is the YouTube channel, but we've got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and the Discord link all in the description below. But I'm gonna leave it like that, guys. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Please, lend me your energy! You're through!